Hey guys, welcome to my very first video tutorial in Makeup and Madness with Reese. I hope you love it. I hope it goes well. We're gonna find out because I had no clue what I'm doing. So if you're here for awesome makeup advice, probably go find someone better than this girl. But if you're here for a funny story and some tips and tricks, you're in the right spot. So today I'm going to be showing a very basic highlight. If you look at me at the moment, you can tell I've already done my eyes, I've already done my eyebrows, I've already done my concealer and my basic foundation. I also have Mount Vesuvius growing up here. Just so you know, if you do have any kind of acne issues, or if you're like me and just like to occasionally grow an enormous lump in the middle of your head, that is actually the only place that I have primed, and if I can find it, I set it down and it disappeared. I use the e.l.f. green primer, and I only prime the area that has the blemish. I don't do my whole face. Up here it is. Because this is what I use. It's cheap. I get it at Walmart. It's not a prestige brand. But what it does is this has the acid in it, the salicylic acid in it. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I'm a linguist. I do what I want. But it helps kind of treat that underneath the makeup. Obviously, any good makeup should be non-comedogenic. In other words, it shouldn't be causing your pores to be gross, but sometimes it's a bad month. I don't know. Anyway, so while we get into this, I'm going to tell you guys the story of hallucinating a dog the other day. So it's no secret for me that I have mental health issues. I'm not private about that at all. And when I was younger, I was on Paxil, and one of the warnings that my psychiatrist gave me is, if you see anything strange, I need you to call me at this direct number. He hands me a card, and I'm like, okay, what do you mean, like, see things that are strange? He's like, well, some people hallucinate on this. And I asked him, like, well, do you mean hallucinate like, oh my god, there's a dragon in my kitchen hallucinate? Or do you mean like the walls are melting hallucinate? Because there's a difference there. And the other thing is, if you know you're hallucinating, you aren't. But that's a whole different kind of thing. So he's like, well, we had one patient who called in and she said she couldn't make her appointment. And when we asked her why, she said that there were alligators blocking her stairs. Now, I live in Florida now, and I could tell you that is a perfectly viable excuse not to make it somewhere. I lived in northern Illinois at the time, so obviously alligators are not really there. They had to actually end up sending an EMT for her to get her out of the apartment because hallucination wasn't letting up. Anyway, apparently it can cause hallucinations. So you got to be careful with those things. This is my blush. It is ColourPop, and it is in Birthday Suit. It's a Super Shock Cheek. Looks like this. These are kind of weird. I have a Tarte blush that I like too, but I want to use this one because I kind of like the shimmer to it. They have like a clay texture to them, so when you touch them, they should feel kind of gooey, which is weird and also kind of one of those like ASMR things. So you get it on your finger, and I just kind of like go on my cheekbone, a little bit under it, all the way back, and then I take a damp beauty blender and I just kind of just really quickly work it in. I like my freckles. I like to leave them alone, and so you can see they're still there. I don't try to cover them. If you were to contour your contour line, and see, I can't even do the contour line because my jawbones are too high. Your contour line would come right here, and then you would actually work the two of them together. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side while I work on the story. So anyway, so I'm like, okay, it's pretty extreme. I did not have any alligator hallucinations. I did have some other really fun side effects, good stuff. Got off of it, switched to something else. As the newer drugs came out, like Lexapro and Celexa, you're probably not going to have that effect. So flash forward to about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'm driving home the day after 4th of July, and we had like a crazy Florida 4th of July this year. Because of the quarantine, our neighbors put off a display that was better than what the city had done the previous year. And so we're like, oh, sweet. But a lot of dogs obviously get upset. People have PTSD. I don't know how they survive that day. It's terrible. So I'm riding on the road. I find these two big dogs that are running free. Get out of my car, help the dogs. Come on, get in the car, catch them. Two other ladies help me. We lure them into the back seat with a slice of Publix chicken. They go on their way. It's fine. Okay. So yesterday, no, 2 days ago, it doesn't really matter. I'd switched medications again. My medication wasn't working. I had to switch up again, and I went back on one that's an older one. I'm not going to say the name. It's an older one, and it makes me feel kind of off. So I'm on a variety of things right now. I know that has ramifications. My doctor is well aware, but this is what's best for me. Anyway, so as I put my highlighter on, this is Smoke and Whistles, which is Super Shock Chic, also from ColourPop. It's a very light color. Your highlighter, if you want to have fun and people to see your highlighter, then go crazy, be a unicorn, it doesn't matter. If you want to wear a highlighter so it's the more subtle look, that's what I'm going to do right now. Anyway, so driving home from the store, again, the same area, and I look out my window, and there is a dog, a very elderly golden retriever, walking, and a lady in one of those walker carts, like that's motorized, chasing after it. All right. So strange. I mean, normally you don't. I'm gonna put this right here, where if the sun were coming down, it would hit my cheek. So right there. Not too far forward, not too far back, and then I'm just gonna blend it. Don't leave it sitting there. It looks weird. Blend it in. It should blend very gently into your cheek line. Do not leave big piles of it anywhere. And so now you can see highlighter, no highlighter, highlighter, no highlighter. So I am concerned that perhaps this lady has lost control of her dog, and I stopped to help her because that's what I do. So I lean out my window, I'm like, hey, do you need help catching your dog? And she replies, no, the dog keeps leaving her socks off. I look at the dog, and sure enough, the dog is now wearing 3 socks. The other one has fallen off, and they are all like a space pattern. I'm like, okay. And she's like, it'll be fine. She'll come back this way. You can go home. I'm 100% not sure that really happened. Like, I got home and I came into my house and I unpacked the groceries. And I told Chris the story. I'm like, I just want you to know, if anything happens or I say weird things, you need to be aware, because I may or may not have hallucinated a dog wearing little spaceman socks that were like this big. I mean, that dog rocked the look, but still. All right, so that's my other cheek with the highlighter on it. That's my crazy hallucination story. Supposedly, if you know you're hallucinating, you're not. Hallucination, by definition, means you have to believe that whatever it is real. So, like, if you suddenly believe, your cat is talking to you, but, like, not just, like, meow, and I interpreting what you're saying, but, like, meow. Instead of saying meow, they're saying, like, attack your spouse. I don't know, whatever. That's a hallucination. And if you're like, wow, good idea, cat, that's a psychotic behavior, and you need to get help. Just gotcha there. All right. If you have a wide nose, I personally like my nose. It's got a nice like ramp down to it. One of the tricks of the trade with highlighter is to just take the highlighter down the center of your nose. That's super weird for me because I never do this. You take it down the center, and it adds that light. You can also add a little bit here to your chin if you want to make it more pronounced. A lot of people get a hold of highlighter and they go highlighter. You don't need to do that. Choose a shade based upon how tan you are. So if you are super tan, you might not be a good candidate for Smoke and Whistles, which is super pale like myself. Your highlighter should complement your overall look. If you are doing a smoky eye or a really dramatic eye, you can kind of see my eye. I didn't really do a lot with it today. Don't highlight into your eyeshadow, because then you end up looking like you're wearing like a mask, which isn't any good either. I am just going to go very gently over this one more time with my damp beauty blender. These things are supposed to be damp. If you did not know that already, this is a good time to learn it like that. Then to finish up, this is Tarte. It is their Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Tinted Pressed Finishing Powder in Light. Whew. It comes with a spongy thing. We're not going to use a spongy thing. We're going to use just like this. I've got my a great big Buffy brush. I am not going to go over my highlighter with this. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to use it on my forehead where there wasn't any highlighter. I'm going to go down the side of my nose, over my chin, my jawline, and just kind of set my makeup in. If I just went over the highlighter because it's forced to have it. Nice. So what happens when you do that is the side's nice and highlighted and on the side's like dampened. I guess if you really wanted to bring it down a notch, that would work. Okay, and that's it. A lot of people say, well, how do you keep it? I cannot emphasize it enough. A good setting spray is your friend, especially if you've spent a lot of time on a look and you're planning on going out. Again, I'm in Florida, so our humidity and heat is legendary. You go out, it melts off your face. So this is the Morphe brand continuous setting mist. This one's okay. I actually prefer MAC because I just don't have it right now, so because I'm poor. So what you do not spray it like you're trying to reach Jesus with your hair. That's not how you do it. So you're gonna take it, think of it like an X. So, and that should be it. And you should have a nice fresh glow. You can reapply setting mist during the day, but be careful because if you put too much of it on, you're going to end up feeling like your makeup gets cakey because it is that you're adding that moisture into it as well. So that is my tips and tricks on highlighting. I hope you enjoyed the video. I feel like I need to do the thing that they do in videos now where I'm like, oh, look at me. You can literally just see how bloodshot my eyes are from having 2 children. That's fine. All right, I hope you guys are wonderful. I hope no one's hallucinating, and if you are, I hope it's by choice and not by, just kidding, please don't hallucinate. But that being said, I hope you all are taking care of yourself. Feel free to do requests because I really don't know what to do in these things. I have no end to the weird stories I could tell you all, so give me ideas. Love you. Everybody stay safe. Take care of your health and your mental health. Love you guys.